What's up, YTPC? This is DSG Pipe Smoker with another pipe smoking video. Today, I've got my Savory pot with some nightcap in it, and I thought, let's see where I put them. I thought I would talk about, or rather do a comparison of, the two most popular methods of lighting your tobacco in your tobacco pipe. Matches versus a Bic lighter. Now, some people say that if you're a pipe smoker, or if you're a real pipe smoker that is, you pretty much have to use matches. Everybody uses matches. Back in the old days, everybody was using matches. Matches burn cooler, and that certainly is true, when you consider the fact that primarily what you are using to keep the flame lit is a soft, I think it's a cedar, it's a soft wood, and as long as you, when you light it, if you let that sulfur burn, you let it burn up, and then let the cedar burn, you'll produce a cleaner smoke, which is all true. I have noticed that matches do burn cooler. They produce a better taste right off the bat. You can also vary the flame. So, and I just broke that. That's one disadvantage of using matches. So we let the sulfur burn, and if I just tilt it like that, see, I can change the length of the flame. But usually, the flame will start out just ever so slightly bigger than the sulfur tip. But you can vary the flame, so it doesn't matter if you're using a Dr. Grabow with, say, 6/10 of an inch wide bowl, or a 320 with a bowl that's almost an inch, or not a bowl, but a chamber that's almost an inch wide. You can make matches work. But matches have their downfalls, I should say. They have multiple cons to them. One of them that really annoys me is they tend to produce waste. Even if you let the matches burn up all the way, or most of the way, they will produce like an ash or charcoal that can easily break off. You know, and they crumble, they smear, they just get everywhere. It's no fun. The other thing that's bad about matches is they're very picky about the conditions that you are lighting them in. You cannot light it in conditions where there's any breeze whatsoever. Otherwise the matches will go out. And yes, this is talking about your average kitchen matches, which, if you're going to use matches, that's what's recommended because it's the most natural and it's the most clean burning. Yes, they do make wind resistant and waterproof ones, but those are usually coated with a material that prevents the matches from going out under said conditions. So matches are generally used at your local B&M or in your house if you can smoke there. They were used quite often back in the day because, you know, they were next to nothing, and everybody smoked everywhere, so it didn't matter. It didn't matter too much anyways. However, we also have this cool little thing. It's called a Bic lighter. And as you can see, nowadays, if you look hard enough, you can find really cool designs on this. Or on these Bic lighters. Bic lighters do tend to burn a little bit hotter. The flame will start out, you got a little bit of a breeze going there, but a breeze like that will put out a match. If I had a match lit, it wouldn't, or if I had a match that got struck on the striking edge of the box, it wouldn't stay lit. It would try to, and then it kind of fizzle out. Wouldn't make it, it would probably get about that far, and then it would go out. And that's not to say that... Hold on, let me adjust my chair here. There we go. That's not to say that Bics are windproof. Obviously, they're not. Especially compared to a Zippo. But they're a hell of a lot more wind resistant and, windproof than a match. Other disadvantages of it, again, if you're used to smoking your pipe in a B&M and you're amongst a certain type of crowd that tends to be very white collar and is the stereotypical pipe smoker, you're going to get a lot of odd looks lighting your bowl with this lighter versus a match. Matches might be a little bit more respected in that environment. Other disadvantages of using a lighter, like I said, usually a match will start out with a very small flame, or maybe a little bit bigger than the sulfur tip, so you can start out with that and build upon it. It doesn't have to get, very big. A lighter will pretty much be at that height until it runs out of butane. It gets butane. Lighter fluid anyways. So, compare that to the bowl. That's why when you're using a lighter, you have to hold it kind of up and move it around a little bit. You got to do that with matches too. But you definitely have to do it with a lighter because you start out initially with a much larger flame. So, with all that being said, probably wondering what I prefer, where I stand between the two. Personally, what I like to do is I will take advantage of the advantages of both. Usually what I do is I will start out with matches, I will do the initial light, the false light and the true light inside, where there's no influences of wind or weather conditions. And then once I get it lit, then I'll go outside or go in my car and I'll use a Bic. So to demonstrate, because the wind's coming from that direction, orient my chair. There we go. Such that we're out of the wind. So as stated before, I started with matches. See how small that flame is? Well, no, it's not very small because it's climbing up the wood, but... And I take advantage of the fact that matches have a cooler flame, so getting the tobacco lit isn't going to, start the tobacco up super red hot right from the get-go. Then take a tamper, tamp it down. Now normally, like I said, I would do a true light with the matches. But because I'm outside, and because I just showed you using the matches, because I'm outside, let's go ahead and use the Bic lighter. Again, you can do a true light with a Bic lighter. You just got to be careful. You got to kind of let it hover over the tobacco. Let it come in and sort of touch the tobacco. And once I get it lit, If it needs more relights, I will use a Bic lighter because I can take advantage of the flame of a Bic lighter to go down the bowl a lot further. And it'll keep the tobacco burning. Doesn't matter if it's, I just got it lit and I set it down for a few minutes, or if it's, all the way down the chamber, down into the heel of the bowl. It's not to say that you can't use matches for that. I've just found that it's more challenging, and this is what I prefer to do. What I would recommend that you guys do is find your own way of doing it. Well, this has been DSG Pipe Smoker with another pipe smoking video. I hope you guys enjoyed that content. I hope you got some information out of it, and I hope it sparked some discussion amongst the community. I'm gonna sit back and relax. You guys have a good weekend. Goodbye.